So before moving to mesh method or the loop method, we have to first understand that this depends on KVL. And what is KVL? Kirchhoff's voltage law.
Voltage.
Okay. And what it suggests that the algebraic sum of voltages in a loop is 0. That means if you are having something like this, let us say this is R1, R2, and this is V1, and if the current flowing in this loop is, let us say, I, then this is voltage, let us say this is V0, that is V1, and the voltage drop across R2 is V2. So one can write V1 is R1 I1, V2 is R2 I2. So one can write the loop as summation of all the voltages. So you have to take always the negative sign first because the entering sign we are taking generally. So one can write minus V0. This is your minus V0. Okay. And then plus V1 plus V2. So I'm only taking the entering sign. Okay, so this is called a sign convention. You can take leaving sign also, but in that case, you have to take all the leaving signs. You should not take sometimes as the entering and sometimes as the leaving. You can follow, you have to follow one rule. Either you have to take the sign which is there at the ending point, or you have to take the sign which is there at the leaving point. Because both the same equation. If you are taking for leaving, then you will end up with plus V0 minus V1 minus V2 is 0. So these two equations are same. You need not to worry about that. What will happen if you are taking it for the leaving or the entering? The only thing is you have to always take the same sign convention throughout. Now, the loop equation will become, generally the loop equation will write in terms of currents because this is the V1 and V2, two unknowns will come. Instead of that, we'll try to write in terms of one unknown. So we can write minus V0 plus I1 R1 plus I2 R2. I'm just substituting this value, these values here, which is equals to 0. Now the I1 current can be identified as V0 divided by R1 plus R2. So this is how one can write the current using loop. Now this is one loop, so you cannot appreciate too much in this. Let us consider two loops together. So some direction of current you can take always if it is not mentioned. Again, let us say this is V1, that's V2. This is I1, that's I2. This is R1, this is R2, and this is R3. Okay. Now you have to write, this is, let us call that this is loop 1 and that's loop 2. So let us write for loop 1. And what is loop? Loop is a closed path, right? Closed path is called loop where you're not crossing any particular node more than once. Okay, so that is what is called as a loop. So if you want to write the loop equation for let us say loop 1, then how you will write? You have to take the entering sign, so minus V1. Unless otherwise mentioned, you have to take always the drop across voltage as the positive. So R1 I1. Now the drop across R2 is because of two current, the I1 component and the I2 component. Moreover, the I1 is coming from top to bottom, whereas the I2 is going from bottom to top. So they are opposite of each other, right? So obviously they are not contributing as in addition. So it will be a subtraction, and you have to always consider that the loop under consideration, the loop current under the consideration will give for the positive sign as we have considered for the nodal. So we will write I1 minus I3. Instead of writing I3 minus I1, we will write I1 minus I3 because of two reasons. First, unless otherwise mentioned, we'll always consider a drop across that particular resistance is it's in this way that the entering current of the direction is positive, whereas the current under consideration is a higher value. Hence, I1 minus I3 you have to write. So I1 minus I3 into R3 is 0.
It's I2, right, sir?
Oh, sorry, I2. Yes. Sorry. It's I2. Correct. Let me correct it here. I2 into R3 is 0. So this is your equation number 1. Now let's go to the loop 2. Loop number 2. So loop 2 one can write as, we will start with R3. So we are considering the loop 2. So I2 will win. That means what? You have to consider positive for that one. So we'll write R3 into I2 minus I1. So you can recall the similar set of considerations we had for our nodal analysis also. What was that? The node under consideration is at highest potential. Similarly, the loop under consideration will have the highest current in that way. So I2 minus I1 you can write instead of writing minus or I1 minus I2, right? Why we are writing it? Because I am considering the direction of current as I2, so it has to follow it in this way. Plus the drop across R2, which can be written as R2 into I2, and then V2. So entering sign is plus, hence plus V2 is 0. So this is your equation number 2. Now your I1 and I2 are unknown. V1 and V2 are supply, that means known quantity. R1, R2 and R3 are also known to you. Okay, so you need only two linear equation, and these are here. Is that fine? Let us do one more example. let us consider this is the I1 current direction and that's the I2 current direction or the loop direction or the loop current direction, whatever. So many terms you can use. All the resistance are, let us say, 5 ohms. Now you have to tell me how the loop equation can be written. Now you have to tell me how the loop 1 equation will be written as. Yes, please.
minus 10 plus 5 into I1
Minus 10 plus 5 into I1. Now what about this?
plus 5 into I2
See here, two current components are coming together. It is
So
a
plus 5 into I1 minus
I1 minus
I2.
I2. Yes, sir. I1 minus I2.
why it is happening, because this branch is shared among both the loop. Hence, both the current will contribute. Hence, you have to write plus 5 into I1 minus I2. What about the next term?
Plus 20.
Plus 20, absolutely right. This is equals to 0. So this is equation number 1. Now, loop 2.
Minus 20
plus
5 into I1 minus I2.
no, why I1 minus I2? This is you are writing for the loop 2. So loop 2
Okay,
into
I2.
consideration. So this current is high. That means the direction clockwise with respect to 5 will win. And if that is the case, you will be getting a drop in this way. So positive sign will come here and the negative sign will go there. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So how you can write 5 into I2 minus I1 plus 5 into I2 plus 5 into I2. So plus 5 into I2 is here and plus 5 into I2 is here. So that is equals to 0 and this is equation number 2. Now you have to tell me what is the answer for I1 and I2. Please solve it.
So I got I1 as minus 0.4 amps.
Yes, sir, I got it too, sir. And I2 is 6 by 5.
I1 as
Minus 0.4.
what about others?
So I too got the same, sir. Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So we are considering the loop currents in clockwise direction now, sir. Can we consider both of them as anti-clockwise direction?
Yes, you can consider anything. I will show you that also. Let us say you want to consider it in this way. Doesn't matter. Still we can write. Let us start writing for the loop current for loop 1. So what will be the loop equation? Minus 10 plus 5 into I1. And now what about this I2 current? This I2 current is also entering from top to bottom. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So both the current directions are same. With respect to the 5 ohm, both the current directions are same, the loop current directions, and hence we can write it as 5 into, can anyone suggest me what we can write? See, this is from here it is coming as I1, from there it is coming as I2. So obviously in order to solve the KCL, it should be in additive in nature. So I1 plus I2 will come. Plus 20 is 0. What about the loop 2? Loop 2 will look like 5, let us say I'm starting from here, 5I2 plus 5I2, and from here you can write plus 5 I2 minus, sorry, I2 plus I1 and plus 20. So you can see here you will end up with similar answer. So your equation may not look similar, but your answer will be same. Can you quickly identify what is the answer here for I1 and I2 such that we can proceed for the next question? So at the first instance, your doubt will be cleared that it is not the matter of considering the direction of current. It is the matter of writing the loop equations correctly such that you will end up with the correct answers. Now,
Yes,
can
sir.
anyone think? Can anyone think over what will be the I1, I2 value here based upon the current direction, and considering that the way of writing the equations are correct? Just looking into this answers, can anyone comment what will be the I1, I2? See, I1,
I1 would be same, sir.
I1 will be
I2
same.
is
Absolutely right. That's what I was expecting. Okay, so it will look like this. So what does it suggest? Correct. It suggests that in either for I1 nor for I2, the current direction which we have considered is correct. Basically for I1, it is in anti-clockwise direction, and for I2, it is in clockwise direction. Okay, if you are considering this one. If you want to analyze this equation or this answer, it says that I1 is incorrectly considered. So I1 must be in anti-clockwise, and I2 earlier we have considered as a clockwise. So that is correct. Is that okay? So in the same way, one can solve for this also. I will quickly write the equation. Let us say this is I1 and that's I2. Now one can write the outside loop also. What is the meaning of outside loop? See, loop means what? You are starting from some point and you want to end at some point or to the same point, right? Without crossing a particular node more than once. So that is what your loop says. So one can consider the loop as this also. Okay. So let us try to write down the loop equation in this case. Let us start from here. So plus 10 I1 plus 10 now what will happen, you are standing here now and you want to move in this way. So what is the current flowing in this 20 ohms? What is the current flowing in this 20 ohms?
I2, sir.
Is it in the direction of
I2, sir.
is it in the direction of your walking? You are walking in a clockwise direction, and I2 also goes in a clockwise direction, right? You think, right, you are standing here and you are actually walking in the circuit. Okay. So if you see here, you are also going in this way, and I2 also will join with you. So that means your both of your directions are correct, hence positive sign. So 20 into I2. Then you are here. So plus 30 is 0. Is that fine? Now you need only one equation. So either you consider loop 1 or loop 2, anything. You can consider this also, because you need only one equation. So you can write it as plus 10 I1 for this, plus 10 minus 15. What about this 15 ohms? How the drop will look like? Plus or minus?
Plus, sir. Plus 15 into I1 minus I2.
So two equations are there and two unknowns are there. You can always find out the unknowns. Is that okay? Now, is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Let us consider this example, which is taken from the book. Are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
So how many loop current are shown here? There are 3 loop current. That is loop 1, 2, and 3. So let us start writing from I1, loop 1. So this is negative sign which you are encountering. So you can write minus 7. And then this comes here. So please help me in writing the equation. Everyone, please quickly do it first. Tell me what I should write here.
1 into I1.
1 into
I1.
I1 minus I2.
I1 minus I2. Okay. And then I want to complete this entire loop. So next I will be getting this plus 6. And then plus 2 into.
I1 minus I3.
So this is your equation number 1. Now second loop. Let us start from this 1 ohm. And your direction of loop is this. So what will be the first term? Please tell me, everyone. The drop across 1 ohm.
2 I2.
1 into.
1 in I2 minus I1.
Correct. I2 minus I1 plus 2 into I2 plus 3 into. What about the direction of I2 and I3?
3
Both are opposite in terms with respect to this 3 ohm resistance, right? So 3 into I2 minus I3 is 0. So that's your equation number 2. And now we'll go for the third loop. So how the third loop will look like? Let us say I'm starting from here. So 2 ohms. So 2 into I3 minus I2 minus 6 plus 3 into I3 minus I2 plus 1 into I3 is 0. So that's your equation number 3, right? So you are having three unknowns, I1 and I2 and I3.
Sir, I got the I1 value as 3 ampere.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll just take a call. So you are having three unknowns and three equations, I1, I2, and I3. Someone told the answer for I1. What is the I1 value you got?
Sir, I1 is 3 ampere, I2 is 2 ampere, and I3 is 3 ampere.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I got that answer.
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. That is correct.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So I hope now you are able to handle the loops also, isn't it? Let us go with this one. This is a super mesh. Why we are calling it as a super mesh? Because we have a current source which is shared between loop 1 and loop 3. So as we have faced a problem while writing the nodal, that if there is any voltage source which is connected with two non-reference node, then we cannot write a straightforward nodal equation, and hence we have called that a super node. In a similar way, if two loops are having a common current source, in that case we may call that as a super mesh. Okay. So how we can write the equation for this? Let us start from here. So what you have to do is you consider the loop in this way. And you start from here now. So minus 7 plus, now you're here, 1 into I1 minus I2. And then instead of going in this direction, you have to go it in this way. So you can write plus 3 into. Now what about the direction of I1? Oh, sorry, this loop, super loop, and I3. Your loop direction is also clockwise, and your I3 direction is also clockwise with respect to this 3 ohm. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
And what about the I2?
It's in opposite direction, sir.
It's in opposite. So what will be the drop? It is 3 into I3 minus
I3 minus I2.
Correct. And then you are having this 1. So plus 1 into I3. And then after this, you will go back to your initial point, which is equals to 0. So this is equation number 1. Now you can write equation for this loop. So one can write it as 1 into I2 minus I1 plus 2 into I2 plus 3 into
I2 minus I3.
I3. Correct. So this is equals to 0. That equation number 2. And then where is the third loop? You cannot write a loop for this. Now, where is the third equation? Third equation will come from here. Third equation will come from this current source. The direction of I1 is along with the current source direction, whereas for I3 it is opposite. So one can write that as per the KCL, it has to satisfy the KCL at this point or maybe here. Right? So one can write that 7 must be equal to I1 minus I3. And this is your equation number 3. One can write for this outside loop also, and that will also contribute for the third equation. Is that okay? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll start with the superposition theorem now. The superposition, okay, fine. The superposition theorem we will start from the next class. Okay, because it will take time to start with. Fine. And meanwhile, you can practice all the loop equation questions from the book. Okay, in the tomorrow's lecture, we'll start with the superposition theorem, and you have to go with the basics of linearity and superposition. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.